sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me, my Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me. I'm gonna pray when the Spirit says pray. I'm gonna pray when the Spirit says pray. I'm gonna pray when the Spirit says pray, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me, my Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me. I'm gonna work when the Spirit says work. I'm gonna work when the Spirit says work. I'm gonna work when the Spirit says work, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me, my Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me, my Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me. All day, all night, angels watching over me, my Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me. Angels watching over me. Angels watching over me. All right.
Please remain standing and join us in singing Dancing in God's Heart.
Yeehaw! Circle right and circle left, dancing in God's heart. Hold God's hands and stop your feet, dancing in God's heart. Feel the rhythm and feel the flow, dancing in God's heart. Sing with joy and let yourself go, dancing in God's heart. Be with me, fly so free. Hug and praise and bow and stand, dancing in God's heart. Swoon and sway and rock and swing, dancing in God's heart. Melt into the ocean of love, dancing in God's heart. Fly so free like a peaceful dove, dancing in God's heart. Be with me, fly so free. Open your eye and let it be, dancing in God's heart. Infinite joy and tranquil bliss, dancing in God's heart. Vision of light, infinity, dancing in God's heart. I'm one with you, you're one with me, dancing in God's heart. Be with me, fly so free. Be with me, fly so free. Dancing in God's heart, dancing in God's heart, dancing in God's heart, dancing in God's heart.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. I'm Julie, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our service. You're joining with me in waving hello to our online friends. Hello, online friends. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we truly appreciate you. Before we begin our service, let's all take a moment and check your cell phones. Be sure they're completely off. Thank you. And we're blessed to have as our musicians today, Heart Dream. They have CDs on the patio after the service. Let's open our service by focusing our intention through our opening affirmation. Please join with me in prayerfully and powerfully saying it 3 times. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Once again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Let's continue by reading aloud the statement of our unity. God's love is within each of us, guiding us to dynamically express our wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. We acknowledge the universal wisdom in the Christ teachings and in all spiritual paths. I now choose to open to the presence of divine love and to be changed at death. Throughout this sacred time, God is uplifting me, and through my heart, the world. Our heart minister today is Jack Schaefer. He will read the daily word.
The word for today is Sabbath. Squeezing one more task, errand, or responsibility into a day can leave me so focused on doing that I seem to do nothing well. This is my wake-up call, a realization that by doing more and more things, I am neglecting my own spirituality. Observing a Sabbath, I take time away from rushing to be alone with God or to gather with others in worship. The Sabbath is about being fully in the presence of God and recharging my spiritual battery. Physical renewal brings forth when I make time for the renewal of my spirit. I am refreshed by a wellspring of divine energy and life. As I put God first, all else falls into place. My doing takes on new meaning and purpose because I know my oneness with God. From the scripture, Exodus 28, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. The affirmation for today, in the presence of God, I am renewed. Together now? In the presence of God, I am renewed.
Please join us in singing, "Oh, My Heart Sing."
Oh, sing, my heart, sing. Let my eyes gaze upon thee, upon my Lord, upon my Lord. I am you, you are me, thou art everybody. I am love.
I'm going to highlight a few upcoming events, and the details of these and other wonderful activities are in your bulletin and on the website. Have you ever wondered how to volunteer at Unity? How to contribute your unique talents and experience to events, programs, welcoming, or outreach? Today, following the 11:30 service, we will gather in the sanctuary for our second participation day. Our annual Teddy Bear Drive starts today through next Sunday. Oh, hold them up again. Let me see. Oh. Each Sunday, the donated bears will attend our services and pass them around so they can receive our love before they are given to the children. This year, our book center is selling unique teddy bears, and the teddy bears will go to the children's hospitals. Our Thanksgiving celebration begins on Wednesday, November 23rd at 7:30 p.m. in a service of appreciation. On Thanksgiving Day, we will have our turkey dinner at noon in the community room. Sign-up sheets will be on the patio and in the book center during the week. Reverend Sheila Gautreaux has something to say about the magic of forgiveness.
All right, Sheila.
Okay, so how many of you feel that you have done all of your forgiveness work? Raise your hand. All right. Well, I was on Reverend Robin Ryder's radio show. We did a show on forgiveness, and she told me how to test to see if you have forgiven. First, you fill your bathtub with water. You step in. If you stay on top, you're done. So for those exceptions, next Saturday, join me for the magic of forgiveness. In this process, you will be able to let go of all the residual energy left by any unforgiveness work that still exists within your consciousness, as well as at the cellular level and in your body. There's a process where I'm going to show you where you've been carrying those people you haven't forgiven in your body. The process will also culminate with a powerful radical forgiveness ceremony. It's just based on a Native American healing circle. So if you're not staying on top of the water, join me next Saturday, and I promise you will leave feeling transformed. Your life will never be the same again. It's $60, but we won't turn anybody away. But let me tell you, it's worth every dime. You will be able to step into your power. That's it.
Sounds wonderful, Sheila. Sounds great. If you're here with us for the first time, we invite you to raise your hand so we can acknowledge you. Any first-timers? Welcome, welcome. And to those of you who have joined us online, welcome to the spiritual community. We truly appreciate you being with us. Any other newcomers? Okay. All right. Keep your hand in the air, and the ushers will bring you a gift of a shell lei. On that lei is an affirmation that we share with each of you that says, just as God has a design for every shell of the sea, so God has a design for your life. We have a blessing, which you will see on the monitors. Join me as we open our arms to send you a sincere blessing from our hearts as we affirm together. We love you, we bless you, and we behold the light of God shining through you.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us today. All right, let's all say hello to each other this morning.
and I know that I'm right. You're an angel, bringing love to everyone, and it's yours to give. And the giving comes the fun. We are angels, we are beings of light. We are angels, and we know that we're right. We are angels, bringing love to everyone, and it's ours to give. And in the giving comes the fun. I'm an angel, I'm a being of light. I'm an angel, and I know that I'm right. I'm an angel, bringing love to everyone, and it's mine to give. And in the giving comes the fun. You're an angel.
All right. So take that deep breath, breathe it in through your heart, breathe out, gently relaxing, letting go as we prepare for our time of prayer and meditation. So again, gently breathing in. Breathe in that awareness of this divine love that enfolds you, surrounds you, and expresses as you. And let the music be part of that journey to the very center of your heart. breathing in that awareness. You breathe in that awareness of divine love. Let it draw forth that experience of peace in you, that experience of stillness, where you are enfolded in that love. Easy to gently let go. And as you look back on the events of this week, if you see places where there was turmoil, send that peace. Call it forth in that situation. When the disciples were on the Sea of Galilee, and a great storm came up, and they were afraid. And Jesus spoke the words, "Peace, be still." Spoke them to the wind and to the waves, and to that turmoil within life. Peace, be still. And the wind became quiet, and the water stilled. Peace, be still. And that place in your life that may feel like it still has turmoil, peace, be still. For from that place of spiritual oneness and power, peace, be still. For you are one with that infinite presence. You are one with its power and wisdom. As a spiritual being, you can call forth that stillness. You are one with that peace, for it dwells within your heart. Peace, be still. Into the mind with all its thoughts. Peace, be still. And to that place, that place within you, that place of peace, at that divine presence, call us there. Peace, be still. Rest in that peace. Rest in that stillness. Rest in the presence of infinite love. Peace, be still. Be still. Beloved presence, Mother, Father, God, you who are the stillness at the very center of being, you who are the peace in mind and heart, you who are this beautiful experience of love that we find upon our hearts. We now choose to radiate the presence of this love, this presence that you are in and through us, to send it forth to bless and heal and uplift. And so we radiate this love from our hearts, first to our bodies for our wholeness, healing, vitality. We send it from our hearts to each of those that are dear to us, blessing, healing, uplifting, guiding each one. We radiate this love, sending it across our spiritual community, sending it through all the prayer requests, through each individual and family to bless all that's in their world. We radiate your love and send it across the communities in which we live. We send it across our nation to heal its fears and bring forth its great wisdom and compassion. And we send your love, radiating it from our hearts. We send your love across the nations of the world to heal all fears and bring forth your peace. We send it to all who join us in prayer, whether in mosque or synagogue, temple or church. We radiate your love. We send it to the earth and to the creatures of the earth. And we send it to the heart of every single person. For you are that love in every heart. And in that love, we are one. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Again. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once again. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. So, in the name of that divine presence in each being. Amen.
Every chord harmonizes my soul. From my dream I awaken to sing. Gratitude and thanks for everything.
Violet blue aura in my third eye gives way to dazzling brilliance of light. My inner eye opens up to bliss. Oneness with God is the highest gift Raindrops fall in a clear crystal bowl.
Every chord harmonizes my soul. From my dream I awaken to sing. Gratitude and thanks for everything.
Rivers of melody connect me to you. Songs of ancient wisdom arise and flow through, and I melt into the ecstasy of grace, surrounded by love in God's pure Raindrops fall in a clear crystal bowl.
Every chord harmonizes my soul. From my dream I awaken to sing. Gratitude and thanks for everything.
Raindrops fall in a clear crystal
Good morning. Good. See that some of the bears are about their appointed task. Their job is to hug you or receive your hugs that they can be passed around. So as we talk, be sure and see that they do their work. And as so many of you know, what goes on here is really so much about community. It's about that connection support that we all do for each other. So after this service, we have that getting back together and saying, wow, what are all the different ways that we can join in, support, help each other, help things to happen, and what would you like to happen? So great opportunity today. And Reverend Sheila, I don't know if I'm ready to take the forgiveness test yet. My ego is fragile on some things, so. But I did take her class, and it was wonderful. It was a powerful, powerful experience, and I thank you so much for bringing that to us, that we get the opportunity to do that on Saturday. This experience of spiritual growth is kind of an amazing thing, isn't it? When you recognize, whoa, here's me, and here's what's going on, and here's what's really going on as we grow and unfold as spiritual beings. And have you noticed that life is so generous? It gives us lots of opportunities to grow. Yeah, it's a marvelous thing. Now, I notice sometimes when that growth is coming up for me, when I run into those challenges, those situations that maybe are a little hard or they're really challenging who I am and what's going on in my life, that there are some things I know to do, but I often forget them. You ever had that experience? So I want to share with you one of the things that I go to remember. And I go to this because it's one of those things that has just touched my life early and continued to unfold. And somehow or other, when I think of these beautiful stories, they remind me, they help me to wake up in a little different way. So I want to share with you one of the great fairy tales. Now we'll take a look at it all, but there's really a particular part in there, the kind of what I call what do I really have to do part. Okay, so I'm going to go to there because when I'm stuck, that's kind of what my question is. What do I really have to do? I'm going to focus on that, but these stories are so powerful to me because they have captured the archetypal patterns within us, these deep patterns that unfold, that really guide the process of our spiritual growth. And when we understand them, somehow or other, it just makes it easier to take a hold of that. Now, the one I want to share with you is Sleeping Beauty. I've shared it before, so I want to focus on this particular part. Now, you remember how it begins. There's the king and queen, and they have the baby princess. And they're thrilled, and the whole community, the whole kingdom comes together to celebrate the little princess. And so the people bring their gifts, and the fairies bring special blessings. And there's a point at which suddenly the evil fairy shows up. And she gives a curse. And the curse is that the baby, before she reaches her 18th birthday, will prick her finger on the needle of a spinning wheel and die. Now, the other fairy that's there says, I still can give a gift. I can't undo this. But I can change it. When she pricks her needle, pricks her finger on the needle of the spinning wheel, she will not die, but will fall into a sleep from which she can be awakened by true love's kiss. Okay? Now the king and queen, of course, wanting to make sure that this doesn't happen, send the little baby away to be raised in secret. Raised so she doesn't know who she is and no one else knows, so that she'll be protected from the evil fairy trying to bring about this wish. And, of course, what happens is as she returns on her 18th birthday, she returns because 18 is that point at which we symbolically step into the maturity of awareness. Okay, so in that, as she seeks to do that, returning to the castle to learn who she really is, she's drawn by the evil fairy into that room with the spinning wheel. And she pricks her finger on the needle and falls into a deep sleep. And in their gentleness, the fairies bring that sleep throughout the castle. Okay, now, again, all these characters are you. Okay, so you're the lovely princess. Okay, so kind of, do that princess thing that you've seen the princes in our lives do. Okay. And, you are this sweet, beautiful. Now, because the princess is a female character, okay, we know that she's talking about the part of the soul that is the feeling nature. So she's that in the soul that develops, in the development of your soul, because this is the story of what happens as the soul enters into the earth. And in that development, this beautiful being that is the feeling part of the soul is the one that is working here. And if you notice, like a lot of the great fairy tales, what happens, but she doesn't, she's raised without knowing that she is the child of the king and queen. King and queen are God figures. Okay, so she's raised without knowing that she is the child of God. Okay, now that is because in our feeling world, as we enter into this third dimensional realm, we lose awareness of who we really are. Okay, so that is part of we no longer feel that connection. We no longer are aware that you are the child. And with that child, heir to all of the power and the authority and the abundance and the goodness of the kingdom. Now, when she seeks to awaken, to actually come back into the connection with the king and queen, come back so that she knows, she meets what is the symbol of the work that happens for us in the earth. She meets pain. And in that pain, she goes to sleep. Now, if you think about your feeling self, when you've met some of that pain, may have done a little going to sleep. Okay, now there's several different ways that we do sleep in the feeling world. One of the ways that we do it is we just suppress everything. So, I'm fine. It's all okay. No, I'm just fine. Thank you very much. Okay? And the other way is that we just let it overwhelm us. Oh my God, it's awful. They're just doing this and they're doing that and it's horrible. And we get angry at everybody and act it all out. Both are sleep. Okay, they are unawareness of who we are and what our true relationship to the experience is. And some of us are better one way than the other way. Some of us are very entertaining it. Okay. Now, so that part of the journey happens. It's natural. Okay, what the story is saying is this is a natural part of the journey because it falls to that part of you that is the prince. Okay, so you're also the prince. Okay, so sit up straight on that horse, draw on those reins, get ready to go. Okay, check out that kingdom. Basically, you're the prince because you go to Unity. Okay. When you go to Unity, see, the prince knows he's the child of the king and queen. And you know you're a child of God because you come here and you get that every Sunday. All right? You are a child of God. You're an heir to all that is within the divine. You are one with that. Okay? And you know that because you're the prince. Okay? And it falls on the prince to do the work. Okay? So that part of you that knows, that has done that conscious working, princess is asleep. She's out of it. Okay? It's that part of you that has to do the work. Now, this evil fairy, which you also are, Okay, the evil fairy is the fear. Okay, the feelings of fear. She's a female character, so we're talking about the feelings here. Okay, so it's all that power wrapped up in our fear. Okay, and so one of the things, she not only puts the princess to sleep, but she takes and captures the prince and holds him in the castle. So he is imprisoned in the castle. Okay? And yet he's got to do the work. Okay, now there's a process here. There's a way to get out. There's a way to do this work to bring about the transformation. And Jesus kind of lays a part of it out for us. Talking about this experience now, where imprisonment, we're imprisoned. Okay, we are not free, we are controlled. He says, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So at some point here, we have to bring in the truth. Okay, now, for the prince, the fairies come and bring him the sword of truth. So he gets the truth so that he can be freed. Okay, they bring him. Now, in the fairy tales, the fairies are like angels are in biblical mythology. Okay, they are that flow of consciousness from the divine, from higher consciousness into the human experience. Okay, so they're something that we sometimes call divine ideas, illumination, higher state of awareness being brought forth. Okay, this is what happens. So the fairies come to the prince. So basically, in terms of the experience, now we look up and go to that which we have read, which we have studied, which we have heard, and begin to take a hold of it and bring it down into our experience. Okay, bringing this truth. Now, there's kind of a challenge to it. Okay, and the challenge is in our situations, we so often want to look the wrong way. Okay, Jesus gives a further instruction here. He says, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? I hate this teaching. But how do you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Okay, so he's saying the work is within you. And say your brother didn't have a speck out there. We all get to play with each other as we are, okay? But it says that's not the work. And if you'll notice, when things are going wrong, the first thing we do is figure out very effectively how that other person is screwing up so badly. Okay, how wrong they are. One of our favorite things usually to have as a problem in our life is the opportunity to sing that "Somebody Done Me Wrong" song. You ever sung it? All right. I mean, it's so much fun to sit out there and go, it's you, and it's you, and it's you, and you're doing it wrong, and you're the cause of my choosing to feel unhappy. Okay? And then Jesus comes along and says, uh-oh, you got to look at yourself. Bummer, huh? So we have to take that truth. We have to take that truth that comes. And we have to apply it to us. Because the only thing that stands in the way of our good is us. Okay. He gives us a chance to take a look into that as he faces his own imprisonment. This is when he's before the Roman governor. He's before Pilate. He is imprisoned. He is in chains. The Jews insisted, we have a law. According to that law, he must die because he claimed to be the Son of God. When Pilate heard this, he was even more afraid, and he went back inside the palace. Where do you come from? He asked Jesus. But Jesus gave him no answer. Do you refuse to speak to me? Pilate said. Don't you realize I have the power either to free you or to crucify you? Jesus answered, you would have no power over me if it were not given to you from above. Okay. Now, nobody has power over you. Nobody. But you agreed to play that game and walk through that illusion. Because you have power over your own life. You are a spiritual being, one with all the power of the universe. And it doesn't get given away unless you give it away. Okay. That's the truth. And it really ruins Somebody Done Me Wrong songs. But what happened? I mean, this is the truth, brought to a place of imprisonment. And the result for the prince is he's freed. He now has a hold of the truth. Okay? And he has the other weapon that was given to him is the shield of virtue. So with these two things now, he's got this princess out there just waiting to be kissed. Okay, so it's off, but that part of you that is the wicked fairy, pretty smart too. Okay? So the wicked fairy places a ring of thorns around the castle. Okay? Now that ring of thorns is that set of negative thoughts that you hold around the situation. Okay? And you can't get through until you take care of those. What a beautiful symbol, isn't it? I mean, those thoughts are just pricking you all over. They're just going along, and they're all around there. You stop it for a moment, then you start it again, you know, and it's bleeding your energy. It hurts, and you keep on doing it. What he does is take the sword of truth and cut through it, because those thoughts are all about how somebody else has the power, how bad it is for you, how miserable, how unfair. And that's not the truth. Oh, it doesn't mean there's not hurt or pain along that journey. But you have access to all the power, and if you are not standing in the experience of that wholeness is already given to you. But you need to reach out with your spiritual power and take a hold of it. And follow that wisdom and guidance and bring it into being. That's the only reason it's there. So taking a hold of that truth and cutting through those thoughts, stop them. They serve you no more. The truth is, you have the power and the wisdom to accomplish anything that is in your life. Get about it. Then we meet the energy of the wicked fairy more directly. Okay, now, again, as I mentioned, the fairy is a female character, so it's talking about the feelings that are there. Okay, and she is the fear, that basic primal fear that is a part of the journey with this body, part of becoming master over this experience from the spiritual self. So she turns herself into the dragon, this which can produce pain and death. Okay, so you as that prince are there facing the dragon, and you have the two things with you, the shield of virtue and the sword of truth. Now, the shield of virtue is important in meeting the power of this emotional self and of its judgments and its attachments. Okay, and when I look at the traditional ones are, well, courage and that sort of thing. But when I really look at what gives us power when we are faced with our fear, there is another virtue that I believe is what causes us to be able to transform the situation. That is heart vulnerability. Heart vulnerability. Now, that's very different than head vulnerability. Okay. Heart vulnerability lets us look at something with complete honesty, being vulnerable to seeing. No protection, letting ourselves see clearly what are we doing at every level of our being so that we might know and own who we are. Now, head vulnerability is a little different. And we've all done that at different times. Head vulnerability say, well, I'm going to share this with you now. And this is very private. It's very important to me. And now I'm a little worried about sharing it with you because I want you to like me. Okay, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I want you to be nice to me because I'm sharing it so that you're going to like me a little more. Okay, because I'm going to give you complete power over me just so I can mess myself up a little bit. Okay, that's head vulnerability. It doesn't get you anything except maybe we got a happy moment there or a sad moment there. Heart vulnerability is where you have the power and respect for yourself to know and see the truth of your being, to honestly look at what's going on so that you can take that step into that next level that your spirit is calling you to be. That's a virtue. And that lets you see the fear that you have as it really is. And it's not that the fear isn't there. It's just that it is not as great as the truth within you. And it is the truth that strikes down. It's that sort of truth that strikes down the dragon that is your fear. The truth is there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in your life, the all-loving goodness of God. That's the truth. So if there's something there, it is an illusion you created to get a little growth. Take a hold of the truth. Okay. Now we have different ways that we do this work of supporting and reminding ourselves of that truth. The one we use most is God is good. God is good. All the time. And all the time. God is good. End of the dragon. Okay? Hang on to it. That's it. So that truth is what lets you move through that fear, pull the power out of it. There's only good. There's only God. There's only love. That is the only thing in our life and experience that is real. And it is always there, and you can take hold of it at any time, in any place, in any way. And then that prince in you gets to go kiss the princess in you. And what happens? There is this part of you that was that prince that knew all along. Yes, I know this truth, but I need to touch it at depth. And we touch it through that feeling nature. We touch it through that part that is the princess. We touch that part of the soul that holds the beautiful experience of the feeling of love, because that is the experience of the divine presence. And she wakes up to who she is. And the whole palace wakes up, and the whole kingdom wakes up, and all those beautiful wisdom and power and everything in your life is capable of taking that piece of sawdust out of your brother's eye, or just loving him and letting him go along his way. Because the power, the beauty, the knowledge is within you. So when I get to that point of, what do I do? Just remember that, Prince? Okay. I'm just asleep or trapped in my fear. So take a hold of that truth. Take a hold of that truth and stop those thoughts. They don't serve you. They didn't serve you the first time they went around, the 15th, the 147th. Didn't serve you. Okay? Nobody out there doing you wrong. The only thing there is the opportunity to use the beauty and the power of your being to step forward, to face the fear that we have, and to remember that which is true, that which is greater. One presence, one power, that all-loving goodness of God. Step through that and enter into that beautiful place within yourself known as happily ever after.
Are we awake? If you'd like prayer support for challenges or celebrations, please ask our heart ministers. They are available after the service here in the sanctuary and on the patio. They are wearing the lavender stoles. You're also invited to place a prayer request in our prayer box by the front door or in the book center, or by selecting the prayer request button online. We'll be praying with you throughout the week. One thing to remember is at the close of the service, we request that you allow the children and Reverend David to exit the center row before the rest of us follow. Thank you. And it's time now for our prosperity celebration. For Love in Action or credit card donations, there are envelopes provided in the back of each chair. And I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all your good. Repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I'm truly grateful.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, hit it! Come on! Heart Dream in the house! Every Sunday morning we congregate to pray, sing, learn, and meditate. We all get the message from the daily word, and when announcements are read, they get heard. We dig our musicians and the joyful noise choir. When we sing along, it takes us all higher. Cause we are unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. Positive path for spiritual living. We're unity. What? Walnut Creek. We're unity. Where? Walnut Creek. We're unity. What? Walnut Creek. Take me to the bridge. God's love is within each of us, guiding us to express our wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. Yeah, we acknowledge the wisdom in Christ's teaching and in all spiritual things. I now choose to open to the presence of love and to be tainted there. Yeah, throughout the sacred time, God is uplifting me, and through my heart the world. That's what I'm talking about. Cause we are unity, Walnut Creek, we're unity. Walnut Creek, we're unity. Walnut Creek. Our senior minister is Reverend D. Mack. He cuts in the heart, and that's a fact. Yeah. He teaches the lessons of the spiritual laws, and even shows the meaning of Santa Claus. You don't have to worry if you're short of bling. You can always give a love offering. You say you can't join us? No need to fret. You can catch a service on the internet. Yo, what's up? Cause we're unity. Walnut Creek, unity. Walnut Creek, unity. Walnut Creek, a positive path for spiritual living. We're unity. What?
Walnut Creek.
We're unity. Where?
Walnut Creek.
We're unity. What?
Walnut
Take me to the bridge. Divine love flows to my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Divine love flows to my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Divine love that flows to my heart, baby, enfolding and blessing the world. Divine love flows to my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Cause we are unity. Of Walnut Creek, we are unity. Of Walnut Creek, we are unity. Of Walnut Creek, a positive path for spiritual living. We are unity. What?
Walnut Creek.
We are unity. Where?
Walnut Creek.
We are unity. What?
Walnut Creek.
A positive path for spiritual living. A positive path for spiritual living. The love that you give is the love that you're giving. Diggy, 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 doom, bye. Yo, peace out. Walnut Creek, California.
No, it's not. Let's bless our children together. Children, you are loved, special, and important. God loves you, and so do we. All right. We receive these gifts knowing that the true gift given here is that commitment on each of our hearts to touch this world in a way that brings forth its wholeness, its beauty, and its peace in that indwelling presence of divine light. Amen. So let's take hands and share together our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song.
Let this be my joyous vow.
the love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.
1, 2, 3, hit it. Come on. Heart Dream in the house. Every Sunday morning we congregate to pray, sing, learn, and meditate. We all get the message from the daily word, and when announcements are read, they get heard. We dig our musicians in the joyful noise choir. When we sing along, it takes us all high. Cause we are unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. A positive path for spiritual living. We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity. Where? Walnut Creek. We're unity. What? Walnut Creek. Take it to the bridge. God's love is within each of us, guiding us to express our wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. And we acknowledge the wisdom of Christ teachings and in all spiritual paths. And I now choose to open to the presence of love and to be chained to death. That's right. Throughout this sacred time, God is uplifting me and through my heart the world. Why? Cause we are unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. A positive path for spiritual living. Our Reverend Minister is Reverend D. Mack. He comes from the heart, and that's a fact, yeah. He teaches the lessons of the spiritual life and even shows the meaning of Santa Claus. You don't have to worry if short of bling. You can always give a love offering. You say you can't join us, no need to fret. You can catch a service on the internet. Yo, what's up? We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. A positive path for spiritual living. We're unity. What? We're unity. Where? Walnut Creek. We're unity. What? Walnut Creek. A positive spiritual living. Take me to the bridge. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Divine love flows through my heart, baby. Oh yeah. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. That's what I'm talking about. We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. We're unity of Walnut Creek. A positive path for spiritual living. We're unity. What? Walnut Creek. We're unity. Where? Walnut Creek. We're unity. What? Walnut Creek. A positive path for spiritual living. A positive path for spiritual living. Love to your giving. Digga, 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 doom bow. Yo, peace out.